Oh, here we go. We got the day one. Oh, I am super pumped up right now. You'd be like, Ray, why are you super excited right now? Well, we just got off an interview with Mattias. Now, if you don't know who that is, Google him. Go find my interview and watch it, okay? There's a Sketchbook video at the end of the video that shows some of his work. This guy's a tremendous illustrator. Oh, wait, I got his book right here. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Tremendous illustrator. Boom. The volume of work he puts out is wild, bro. It's crazy. And it's all so creative. It fits right in line with what we talk about all the time, people. Okay? He's got all kinds of stuff, okay? Now he's getting another one of these books made, so, you know, we're excited about that, okay? Hopefully the tariffs will be gone. We can buy all that stuff without paying, I don't know, however much money. Okay, so that was a fantastic interview. He dropped so many good nuggets in there. We talked about so many things. He is the Rocky Balboa of the art world, man. He just like kept going and moving and shaking and punching and until he won. You know, until he won. He had a very supportive mother and father. He went into life and tried to make money in other ways, and then said, I want to be a freelance illustrator. There's no path for this, but I'm going to figure it out. And he did. And that's one of the things that we talk about here all the time. If you can remember, everything we talked about there, we talk about here, people. Opportunities open to you as you go, right? The most important thing is to light that fire of excitement within yourself, okay? And then batten the critical eye in the hole, and then keep to the schedule. He said the same thing. You think that guy is blowing smoke? No. We interviewed him because he's made it. He's successful. He achieved his dream. He lives in the world that he dreamed about, despite all odds. And it's incredible. And, you know, he lives off his royalties now. And you're like, what's royalties? Well, if you put your image on a cup or a t-shirt or a blanket or a kid's toy, they got to pay you a piece of that every time they sell it. Or they give you a flat fee once a year, something like that. Like if you want to get licensing for like South Park or something, you got to pay a one-time yearly fee of like $250,000. Okay, and so he just lives off that. That's fantastic, bro. This guy ain't no joke, is what I'm trying to say. He took his imagination, poured it out onto the page, and worked at it for 50, 60, 70 hours a week because he loved it. Now that's the key, crucial component right there. He loved it. You have to love it. You have to be excited about it. You can't try to become an artist because you think that in some shape or fashion you're going to get famous from this. That's not the point. Okay. Fame might be a byproduct for some people, and maybe not for everyone. You know, maybe some people achieve notoriety in the industry. You know, like their stuff is on the products, but you don't know who that is. Or maybe they do artwork that's not really captivating, but it makes a lot of money. Who knows, right? The important thing is that you have to focus on the actual experience and the actual process of creation. That's what has to drive you. That's how you know you're an artist. The initial way that you know you're an artist is the fact that you're drawn to something, right? Like when you see this artwork, you're drawn to it. You're like, oh my God, what's going on in this artwork right here? I gotta just visually consume it, you know, and get all into it and figure it out. Like, you know, like what the hell is that even right there? That's incredible. You know, that just pulls you in, and you have so many questions and you're so curious. Well, guess what? You're probably an artist, okay? You're sensitive, you're visually stimulated, you know, and it's going to grab you, right? Next step is to say, hey, can I do that? I love that. It's like magic. Can I do it? And then you have a little bit of excitement, a little bit of success, and then you keep going. One foot in front of the other. And you learn how to do those three things I told you. Keep the fire stoked. Put the critical eye in the hole. Keep that schedule intact. Those are the three pillars to success right there. Those are the three pillars to creating a life that is a dream. Bringing your dream into reality, okay? And then existing within it, all right? So that's what you want to do. He's proof of it, people. That's why I fucking interviewed him. Get over it. That's why that's proof right there. You know, all them people out there saying, hey, listen, when I first started to try to be an artist, I was in high school and I was going to do it. You'll never make any money. You'll be poor. You know, so that's why I became an engineer, right? Because it was easy for me. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. You know, then I'll go to art school. You know, that's what I thought. How crazy is it? I'll live 2 lifetimes in 1 lifetime. That doesn't make any sense. I'm really good at math, but I'm not so smart on the common sense component of it, right? So, yeah, go after that golden ring. You only got 1 life right here, people, and use it to refine yourself and excite yourself and make the world an adventure, okay? Instead of you being a damn custodian, sweeping up at the football game, get out there on the field and play that football game, right? Get out there on the field and play that soccer game, right? Get out rugby, baseball, whatever it is. You get out there and you participate. You try to win. The thing that I really liked what he said too, it was one like really sneaky, low key piece of wisdom. He said that you have to put yourself out there. That's a big deal, okay? That's a big deal. You have to put yourself out there. And the way he did it was he would post on Instagram and post on all these places and put himself out there. And he's putting himself up to be measured. He's making himself vulnerable for other people to look at his talent, you know, something innate from deep within himself that he treasures. And he's giving him the opportunity to say, oh, that's poo-poo. That's poo-poo right there. And but he took that risk. And look, it paid off for him. It paid off for him, his wife. His wife's also successful. She's an artist. It's going to pay off for their children. And all influenced by his mom and his dad. You know, his dad with the comedy and his mom with the artistic influence. Ain't that something? That is something right there. So that was a tremendous conversation. Very inspirational, very enlightening, very supportive, very encouraging. And, you know, I hate to use that word encouraging because every time I went through the church, that's the only word they ever used was, I want to encourage you. God sent me a word to encourage you. I was like, that's fine, motherfucker, but how about some money? You know what I'm saying? How about you put some greenbacks in my hand, all right? How about you give me a career path out of here instead of just fucking being a parasite sucking my 10% or 20% off, or making me, oh, you want to reap what you sow? You got to sow yourself a seed of prosperity. You got to take that risk. God doesn't cash checks unless he has them in his hand. I'm like, bitch, why does God need money if he has it all? You know what I'm saying? None of that shit makes any sense to me, but I'll get all wound up, okay? So we got Sir Joseph Froggo here today. He says, what's up? What's going on? Shout out to Joe Froggo. This is day 1. We're getting our rizzle drip going on here. Rizzle drip. How about that? Now, I made that sound because you ain't ever going to forget it. Rizzle drip. Right? Rizzle drip. Riz means seduction. Drip means clothing. So it's seductive clothing, right? That's what all clothing is supposed to be, right? All fashion design is supposed to be seductive, okay? And of course you have the utilitarian component of it, but nobody wants that, right? That's at Walmart. That's at Carhartt. That's at that stuff that fat people get in because they want to pretend they're not fat, right? We don't want that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about fashion design. We're talking about social engineering, social programming. That's what we're doing this whole 30 days, okay? So the first step of that, what we're going to talk about on our Rizzle Drip, is you got to have the ability to make your mannequin first, right? And here, I got one right here somewhere. Let me find it. Oh, here it is. I got my Clip-A-Cup right here. Boom! Clip-A-Cup. And I got my mannequin. Okay, so here's my mannequin. Boom! That's my female mannequin. I got a male mannequin too, right? And so I can pose them around, you know, if I want to see how certain things are done and all that kind of stuff. And that helps quite a bit. But what we're going to talk about today is just the abstraction of the mannequin. Okay, what does that mean? That means in fashion design, the individual that is wearing the clothing is more like a hanger. It's a hanger to feature the clothes. You get what I'm saying? And so when we're making our mannequin, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it someone who's just basically a hanger. You know, they don't really have an identity. They might, they might not even have a face. Some of them just have a line for where their eyes go to indicate that it's a head or something like that. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do. I don't know, we'll do 5 or 10 or 15 or 20. I don't know how many we're going to do, but I'm going to show you guys the abstract volumes that we're going to have underneath the clothing, okay? And why is that important, Ray? Well, if you hadn't already figured that out, it's because as the clothing sits on different anchor points, it creates different kind of folds, right? Different kind of folds. The different kind of folds is what communicates visually to you what kind of texture, what kind of material, what kind of whatever the fuck it is that you're wearing. I got myself a cotton jumper on right now, but imagine if this was a leather. You know, imagine if it was reflective. You know, those are the different things that we're going to talk about. We're going to cross them bridges, when we're doing this whole fashion design, right? Now, this is the sketchbook I'm using. Bam! That's right, mixed media, so we can do the pens, pencils. We can use the Ohuhu pins. Let me bring those over here. Boom, got all those right there. We got, I got my color pencils too. You can use crowns. This is where you want to be right here. This is 11 by 14, 60 pages. You can buy a 3-pack off Amazon. They got a good deal on that. It's about $16 or something like that. $20 maybe. But you get a 3-pack, so that's crazy. So 20 divided by 3, that's going to come out to just above $6, 6 something, right? That's what you want to do. So get one of these, put stickers all over it so you can demarcate it one from another, because after you get going, you're going to be like me. I have like at least 30 sitting over there on that bookshelf right there, and I don't know what the hell's in them because they all look the same except for the fact that I wrote the date up here and I have the different stickers right here, all right? You can also write whatever, but the date and the stickers is the best thing because you're going to remember, oh yeah, I drew this when I was looking at the Yeti thing. Oh yeah, it's in 2025. That's all you need. You can put the month on it too. Don't write anything else on it because then it's going to be too hard to keep up, because now all of a sudden you got to write this, I do that, I got to write that on the front. Now the front is all words and I just want to throw the whole thing away. Okay, so we're trying to make it easily scalable, okay, people? And of course we're using the traditional. I love the traditional because you can feel it. It's tactile. You got that that sensory, that physical sensory, right? That's very important, right? And when we're trying to create an emotional context for what we're drawing, okay, people? And whatever you want, you got the links. I put all the links below this video. Go look in the description. You'll see the links for the different sketchbooks or the different markers. And, I do have, where did it go? I had a Pilot Heritage pen. Here it is. Now, this is what Mattias uses, a Pilot Heritage pen. I do have this. I got to clean it out, though. I got a little ink gunked up. I gotta fix that so it flows better, but I used to use those all the time. Now the reason why I use the Sharpies is because these are readily accessible to people. I'm trying to prove to everybody that you don't need a expensive pen and you don't need expensive stuff, but you can take advantage of what's around you to try to refine your mind, and it is for everyone. It is for everyone. And it doesn't take a huge investment, so that if you would decide at some point that you don't want to do it anymore, you don't feel bad because you got a $15,000 Cintiq tablet sitting over there, and a couple of $300 pens over there, and you're just like, oh, I guess I blew it again. You know what I mean? But it allows flexibility. And you have to be flexible when you're an artist, because it's a lot like what Mattias was saying. As you walk forward, the path will open to you. It's very metaphysical in that way, because very woo-woo, as they say, as Pat says. Shout out to Pat. Thanks for your support, Pat. I really appreciate it. It's very metaphysical in that context. And art is. And why is art metaphysical? Because what you're doing is you're taking abstract thought process and you're interpreting visual stimuli in order to put it in a physical medium to generate an emotional response. Woo. Think about all that. That's big, right? That's big. There's a lot of woo-woo in there. Now, what are the physical components of that? Well, the only physical component is this paper, okay? Everything else is woo-woo, right? Your abstract thought process is woo-woo. Your visual reception of what you see as woo-woo, and then your interpretation of what you're seeing as woo-woo, and then the goal, the target The emotional goal or emotional target of what you're trying to create, what that is you're trying to make whatever emotion you're feeling, and you're trying to put it in somebody else through only looking at your paper, okay? That's what you're trying to do. So that's woo-woo, that's magic right there. So that's what we're trying to do. But anyway, we're going to talk about today how to start the mannequinization process, because we're going to go over that. You need to know it. It's the simple volumes, because that's how the clothing is going to lay, okay? And clothing is very exciting if you understand its purpose and its communication value. Like I said, it's called rizzle drip for a reason. Seduction. Seductive clothing. Now I got, okay, I'm going to take a survey. Everybody out there in the crowd, raise your hand, okay? Do you not want to be desired? Raise your hand. If you don't want to be desired, raise your hand. I don't see anybody. If you want to seduce, raise your hand. Okay, everybody got their hand raised. If you want people to want to seduce you, raise your hand. All right, everybody raising their hand again. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's that desire. I want to experience desire. I want somebody else to experience desire for me, right? So that's what we're talking about here. That's the mechanics that we're talking about, the woo-woo of seduction and desire, okay? And it's in the form of fashion, which we communicate when we walk around every day, okay? You ever been somewhere where you see this really attractive woman and she's put together fantastically, and you're like, holy shit, wow. Or you see a good-looking guy for you women, and he's wearing a great suit or whatever, and he's just, you know, I guess rugged in the right way for you, and you're like already panties on the floor. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about here, okay? It does happen. It's very exciting when it does. It's a real treat. So that's what we're going to explore in these next 30 days. This is day 1, okay? I know, James. I'm hurrying up. We're already at 15 minutes, so let's get this going, okay, people? All right, now you can see my hands, you can see me, we're all happy, we're all go lucky. We're gonna roll on here, okay? So first of all, you gotta think about mannequinization in the form of stick figures. Who can't draw stick figures, okay? So you got your stick figure, and maybe we'll just go like this. We'll throw a little head on the top. We're gonna demarcate the shoulders and the crotch. See this right here? That's the crotch, right? Now maybe they stand with their hands on their sides like that, okay? All right, now we're already looking, the proportions are probably wrong, so there we go, okay? So there's our first thing that we do, okay? Now, maybe we want somebody standing from the side, so we're gonna do this line right here, do a nice rhythm line, put their head like so. We're just making stick men right here, people, all right? Or women, stick men or stick women, okay? That's all we're doing. Okay. Now I'm just gonna do. Sometimes I do like I always do circles to make it easy to see the joints, like so. Okay. So this person's gonna have their hand on their hips and they're standing sideways. If you can see that, we'll go ahead and put a nice little volumes in there. And the goal is to simplify everything. You see that? See how it's all simplified? We can put the little feet right there too. And so you want to get good at doing this, okay? And this is like something you could just doodle. You got what I'm saying? You can just doodle. And you can work on different things of like an S curve. An S curve is how women stand, and a C curve is how men stand, okay? An S curve is feminine, a C curve is masculine, okay? People, you're gonna see that in a minute. So keep in mind that anytime that the shoulders go one direction, the hips are going to go another direction. Okay, so then we're going to just come down here like so, connect it to the crotch, and then put the legs, and then we're going to put the head on like this. Okay, now throw in a couple of shoulders. We're going to have her hand on her hips again, and then have her 2 feet together. Okay, can you see that right there? See that right there? She's kind of standing like oh, look at me, you know. And we kind of got this little situation going on right here, right? She's like got her hands. See if I can get this going right. Get this going right. And she's kind of like, ooh, look at me. See that right there? That's what we got. Ooh, look at me. Okay. Now we're not worried too much about anything but trying to capture the basic gesture. Okay. Now we can have a man standing here, and maybe the man is like so, And maybe he's got his chest out. We coming down. Got the crotch. Put that V in there. Shoulders. Readjust the head. And he's standing there like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna kick some ass, right? Maybe his foot goes like this, right? So when you first see it, you look at it, you make a determination of how's that foot gonna go, okay? How's that foot gonna go, all right? And that's our C shape. See, you can see it right there. There's the C line right there. See that right there? There's the S. See that right there? There's her rib cage. Right here would be her boobs. That's right. You got to know where the boobs are, right? So that's one of the fun things is you got to be able to draw the boobs and all that kind of stuff, right? That's very fun. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to just think about or look on pictures for all kinds of poses. Okay. Like maybe this person's taking a shit. You know, maybe they're having a good time. They had too many taquerias and they're just sitting there and they're maybe they're Indian. I don't know. I didn't you know, script this. We're gonna see what he's doing. Or maybe he's a catcher. You know, maybe he changed that hand. Maybe he's sitting down there and he's a catcher and he's got his catcher's mitt on or something like that. And he can come back in, you can readjust the head like so. Okay. So this is what the rhythm, the mannequinization is all based upon the fun stickmen or stick women. Okay, there's the foot, and you want to be this general about it. You want to be this abstract. I remember when I was first learning about this, and I said to myself, you know what? I can draw a foot better than that. My teacher's he's gonna be so impressed with me because I'm not gonna just put down a little line. I'm gonna draw the whole entire foot. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, look at me, that's how good of an artist I am. You know? And then you're like, yeah, I'm so good and whatever. But then what I realized was, and this is a little nugget, what I realized is they didn't draw the feet on purpose in case they wanted to be flexible with the gesture or the position or the stance, and they could easily change it, right? They could easily change it because something happens to us as people when we put effort or work into something. We become glued to it. We become invested in it. Okay, and so if I spend all this time drawing this nice little foot and everything, and I draw this one over here, and I draw this, and I'm gonna look back at it, and I'm gonna say, wait a minute, I drew a midget leg right there. Look, that's a good leg. That's a midget leg, but I drew it so well, I don't want to erase it. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Erase that bitch. Okay, that's why you keep everything very general, very easy going. That it's easy to erase, it's easy to change. Okay. Now the cool thing also about fashion is that the proportion on fashion is quite different. Okay. On fashion it's elongated. Like so, you don't have to stay married to like this, 6 to 7 heads high, or the neck is only this long. You can do all kinds of things. You can make a head with a long ass neck like this. You can even use the simplified shapes. Put the person's arms in there. Look at that. Look how long that fucking head is. That neck is right there, right? That's a long ass neck. Okay, we'll put it in our rib cage right there, and we'll just have fun doing this. It's very important that you have fun making these little stick figures. You see that right there? Very important. Okay, because what happens is it's going to trigger your curiosity, and it's going to drive you to get better. Okay, it's going to drive you to get better, and that's what you want. You want it to fuel you. Okay, and you might think, Ray, those aren't the best stick figures. I can do better stick figures. I've seen better stick figures. Well, that's great. You should definitely do that. But there's also this concept of I'm trying to think of how to explain it. There's also this concept that as you go quickly, it abstracts very easily, and then beautiful shapes will appear. Okay, and maybe there are shapes you never even thought about. Do you understand what I mean? And then you can go ahead and draw those shapes. You can reinforce those shapes after you've seen them. Your hand draws them. You never thought to draw them that way. And then you're like, wow, I kind of like that. And then you can go ahead and reinforce that, okay? And then that might change your idea about how you're going to draw that, right? So now we got a woman with her hand above her head right here. And there's her eyes. There's her nose. There's her neck, right? There's her rib cage. The bottom of her rib cage. There's her abdominal area, cavity, and then her hips right here in this box, and then her legs right like that with her feet right there. Okay, so we're kind of looking down on top of her. You can see that right there. Boom, right? And then you can put her other hand right here, and maybe it's sticking out. Her hand's down like that. Okay. So we got that going on right there. Check that out. Okay. So you can go ahead and lay down these messy ass lines. Okay, as a stick figure, and it's very important that you be free with it, have fun. Look how ugly this is, right? But it's not ugly, it's just unorganized. And what happens is it allows my mind's eye to select any one of those that I want. Now see, I've built this body, I'm looking at this body, it's cut off at the knees. That could be a mini skirt right there, right? And I'm looking up here and I'm saying, wow, look at that head, it's way too small. You can see that, right? The neck is way too packed, so I'm going to put a line in there and put the head on top of it. Wow, that feels much better. And that's how we want to draw. We want to draw from intuition, from feeling. We don't want to get out the old ruler and try to make, oh, is that 1? Is that 2? You know, is that is that 3 heads? Oh, is that 4 heads? Oh, is that 5 heads? You know, because that's going to destroy our excitement and our momentum. You see what I'm saying, people? We want to keep that excitement, keep that momentum as we go, as we build, okay? So we got that going on. There, we have that all laid out. Now this is the beauty of having these Sharpies, okay? So we have all of our messy lines. We can stop right there if we want. Look at all those messy lines, okay? They're all fun messy lines. Or we can take our Sharpies, and you always want to grab a Sharpie that's a little bit too big, a little bit bigger than the one you want. And these are just different line widths, okay? And then we're going to make something fun with it. So we're going to do some negative shapes right here. Oh, this one's almost out. We're going to do some negative shapes. And at this part, now we're working on our design, okay? This is part of the design work. Okay, so we're using these exercises to work on many aspects of the visual arts component, okay? Now, I'm mad at this Sharpie because it's already out of juice, okay? So I'm going to throw this one away. You out of juice. I'm going to get another one. Yeah, I got a whole drawer over here of these old Sharpies. Let me get another one. There's just something about when you have a nice full of ink Sharpie, and it just flows so nice. So we got the, oh yeah, that's much better, okay? Now see, it's already starting to look a little bit like a fashion drawing, a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and outline some things that we like, and then leave alone some things that we don't like, okay? So then there would be the eyes right there, and then the mouth right there. So that's our first little fella right there. You see that right there? Nice. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do some negative shapes. The negative shape just means the area that your figure is not in, okay? It's the negative shape, and you can design a lot with the negative shape and make it look really cool if you change the focal point to the negative shape, and that's a design element, okay? So look at that. So we got the woman on, you have her head right here, her neck right there. Oh, that looks kind of funny. We'll fix that up. Boop. And then we'll maybe put some boobage in there. Hands in there, you know, and just you kind of explore around and have a good time with it. So there's our second one, okay? Negative shape, okay? Now we'll do the positive shape. We'll just outline the girl, or the, yeah, this one's a girl because she got boobs. Boom, boobs are great. Boobs are decorative indicators. There's a lot of fun things that happen with boobs. I don't have to tell you, right? You know this. Boobs are awesome. Everybody loves boobs. Even women love boobs, okay? Women are jealous of other women that have great boobs, all right? So we all know that. We got that hand coming down here. and keep it all simple. Then we got her legs, we got her crotches about right there, and then we're gonna just drop it down, and then put her feet in like that, okay? And we're just trying to suggest what we're doing. We're just trying to suggest, right? And so then her eyes are gonna be there, her nose is there, her mouth is there. See, that's very artistic. Maybe we're gonna go put a little ears on there. Maybe we put a little hair, okay? And so, you know, we go like that. Hell, we could even put little boop, boop, because, you know, the art world, they love the nudity, right? Then we got our buddy up here. He's standing all, you know, Superman pose. I'm gonna kick some ass and all that kind of stuff. And maybe he's modeling bike wear or something like that. Or, you know, he's sitting there just like, yeah, what's up? What's up, motherfucker? And it's good to talk. Give your people some voices, you know. That helps to foster that fun. You want to be having fun, people. If you're not having fun, then check yourself and figure out what's going on so that you can have fun, okay? Then we're going to have the feet like so. There we go. And so there he is. He's standing there like that, okay? Now these already are starting to look like fashion drawings, and we're not even doing any fashion. We're just doing this mannequinization right here. We're working with the mannequin, and we're making it happen, okay? And this is how you want to do it. Where are we at? We're at 31 minutes right now. So this is pretty easy. We've already been doing this. This is just a 15-minute exercise, okay? Use the balls for the joints. You know, give yourself the opportunity in the second pass to fix anything that in the first pass you got wrong, okay? And what you want to do is you want to focus on the simple shapes that are in this mannequin. The simple shapes. Simple shapes, okay? Use a box for the pelvis, ball for the knee, right? Now, when you're talking about simple shapes, the head is going to be a circle. It connects to basically a vertical box, like so. And then right beneath the vertical box, can you see that? Okay. There's a circle where the abdomen is, right? And then it comes back to another box. That's going to be the pelvis, okay? And they're all happy. Wait, they're happy. Yay! It's like we just gave them legs, right? There's the legs. There's the arms, okay? Then you can use a little circle for the joints and the hand. And that's what you want to do. And then the knees. That's what you want to do at first, okay, people? And so that's kind of what we got going on here. So these are just going to be tubes. You got the knee, boom, boom, boom. Got the foot right there like that. Yay! Okay, looking good, looking good. And then we move on. We got our huge neck. This is our dinosaur neck person up here. Look at that neck. Look at that damn neck. That's a big ass neck right there. Okay. Then we got the egg shape. Once you go past the cube, a refined shape is the egg shape with the notch cut out the front. And then we're gonna go right into the abdomen, into the pelvis, like so. And if you're like, Ray, I don't understand. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you do this exercise for the next week, you'll understand. You'll get it. You just haven't done it enough yet. That's all. All right. There's the little armies, little arms right there. Then we would have the eyes right there, the nose, and the mouth. And see how it just looks like what it's supposed to look like with a line, a dot, and a dot. That's what I'm talking about. That's the abstract shape process. Okay. Now I'm looking at this, I can already tell the head's way too small, but you know what? In fashion, it doesn't matter. You can intentionally draw the head small. Okay, people, you can give them big ass ears. You can do whatever you want to do, right? Because it is a fashion drawing, okay? And, you know, she's got her hand behind her head. Maybe she doesn't have very big boobs. Maybe they're tiny boobs, because a lot of fashion models have very tiny boobs, because the designers don't want the big boobed women to distract with their bountiness. You know, their nice, big, plentiful abundance of boobage. They don't want that. Okay. So then there's the knee. There's the other knee, and then we're gonna change this up just a tad bit. There's the foot. There's the other foot. Okay, and then her hand's gonna go off right here, and then we're gonna go like this. She got a little lobster claw for her hand right there. Okay, but you can see what the gesture's supposed to be. You can see what the how her stance is. You can understand all that. Okay. Then we're gonna come out down here to our final one. Boop. We're gonna go like this. And like I said, we're coming right up on, this is 20 minutes. And my goal is to give you guys exercises that you can complete in under 30 minutes. Okay, that's my goal. And if you want to go longer, then by all means, I hope you do go longer. I hope you do it for an hour, and then maybe you'll be like Mattias, and all of a sudden you're spending 100 hours on one drawing. Your wife's like going crazy because like you quit your job so that you could become a professional artist, and then all of a sudden you make millions of dollars, and now she's happy again because you made millions of dollars quitting your job to be a professional artist. And she's like, oh yeah, honey, I always knew you could do it. That's why I didn't divorce your ass. And you're like, oh babe, you're the best. But yeah. So there we go. We got it right there. Look at that. We got all of those figures knocked out in less than 30 minutes, in less than 20 minutes for me. But results may vary. Okay. Now that's what you want to do right there. We worked on some design, some negative shapes up there. We worked on some different gestures. You can do it from a picture. If you feel free to do it from a picture or any group of pictures. I used to take different clothing catalogs and draw the models out of the clothing catalogs before the whole internet thing was fire. But now it's fire, so you can get them all anywhere. I download pictures all the time of different types of people. And like I said, my goal is to say every time, people, it's really that easy. All right, and it's designed to be an intuitive process. And by that I mean I want to show you how to make decisions, how to make the right decisions so you make the right drawings. Simplified, simple decisions, layered simplicity that gives the illusion of complexity. That's what we're all about here. And when that happens, your emotions snowball. Okay, the frustrations that maybe you feel or had felt when you were drawing, they go away because it becomes a more and more enjoyable process. All right, and that's what we want it to be. We want you to resonate with your passion, with your excitement, and with your enjoyment. And we want you to be like when you're at work or you're at fast food or you're out on a date with a hottie sitting across from me, you're thinking, this is great, but I got to get home to my sketchbook. Hey, I got to go. I got sketching to do. You know what I mean? That's what we want. That's what we want to think. And, eventually we want that other person to support you and be excited as you are about it. Because if you're not on board, if you're not excited about it, guess what? They ain't going to be excited about it either. They're going to be like, yo, man, why don't you just go ahead and get yourself a job shucking oysters or something? That's a lot more exciting and profitable than doing little stick figures with fashion people. And you say, well, if I do stick figures with fashion people like this, one day, after maybe 5 or 6 years of pure suffering, and eating top ramen and a hot dog a day kind of thing, I might break through and become a multimillionaire because I put my drawings on children's toy boxes. And somebody in China saw it, and they sold 100 million units of it. And one day a check showed up to my house for $10 million. I can't believe it. I was living in a trash can like Oscar the Grouch or D-Wag. Speaking of D-Wag, shout out to you, D-Wag. We got to get you back on here. But anyway, the message that I really want to send, so pay attention, listen up, it's important, is that focus on the excitement and the enjoyment of the process. Everything else will come. If you focus on the product, you'll get none of it. Okay? That was the conclusion of our discussion with Mattias Adelson today. That was the conclusion of it. So I want to encourage you, get excited about your life, focus on the things that get you excited, and start to participate in your own life, people. Get excited about it. Get out there, kick some ass, and get after it. Let's go.